Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths. So continuing with trying to wean myself off doing cram cannons all the time, and in the interests of science, kind of, once again we're going to have a wee fight with the excuse of seeing what works better in the wonderful little world of From the Depths. And it's energy weapons this time, which is something I kind of don't play around with enough. For, I don't know, biased reasons. But anyway, we've got two wee canoes right here. Sorry, I defaulted to canoes again because apparently some addictions are harder to break than others. And on the left, we have a particle cannon canoe, and on the right, we have a laser canoe. Now, those of you who know energy weapons probably already know how this is gonna play out. But before you skip to the fight itself, let's go over these two crafts. So, firstly and immediately, the problem with particle cannons is that they're very expensive. Not only in terms of the weapon itself, but also what's required to run them. The same volume of particle cannons requires a lot more juice than the same volume of lasers. And these turrets, by the way, are exactly the same size. And I can tell that because these laser turrets are the kind of all on the turret kind of laser turret that I like using, and are not optimized, by the way. So bear that in mind. This is why this is not entirely scientific, or maybe more scientific. I honestly don't know, because these lasers are not set up the way a smart person sets up lasers. It is a laser turret that is self-contained and, well, looks like this. And you can see it's got the lasers all in there. So, not smart, don't want to do that. But it's the same size roughly, and we've got two barrels of laser, and we've got two barrels of particle cannon right in there. And if you go over here, you'll see that the particle cannons, same volume, pretty much. Actually slightly less volume, because there's this middle bit here which I can't really do anything with, which is very sad. And my particle cannon, Tetris, or snaking, I guess, needs a bit of work. But so, this PAC canoe is about 100,000 more materials more expensive than our laser canoe. So this is going to be a 3-on-2 match. This fella is around 340,000 materials, or 342,000, and this fella is like 218,000 materials. So we'll have two of these guys, three of these guys. Hopefully they won't collide with each other. You never know, they might just do that. I might actually set them up to spawn at an angle in which they hopefully aren't driving in the same direction, because that'll be really handy. Okay, so anyway, so particle cannons. It's got one of each since it's got four. We've got an EMP particle cannon with the following damage numbers you can see on screen. We've got a piercing particle cannon, and we've got over here an impact and an explosive. So, it's got all the damage numbers. These lasers are arguably not the best. They are continuous lasers, so let's just show you what kind of damage they do. So the sustained damage per second is around just shy of 3,000, 60 AP. And yeah, so the end result is that this is quite a bit cheaper, even though it does go... How heavy does it go on the frequency doublers? Not actually that heavy. It's got laser destabilizers in there as well, not much storage. I probably have not done a great job on the lasers, I will be honest. But really, this isn't an excuse to watch things fry each other. Also, these craft are quite low slung, so I'm expecting the lasers to not do incredibly well, because the particle cannons just do not care about anything being in water. But, to be fair to the lasers, they have been set up to target above water and to focus down blocks, because that is what continuous lasers are really good at. Meanwhile, for the particle cannon canoe, what has been set up there is spreading out the damage a little bit more, because the packs are set to swap targets every 1 second. Also, just show you again, the recharge time for these things is set to about 20 seconds, because, I don't know, that seems to that just seems to deliver a massive wallop. And, yeah, like, I forget what the math is for particle cannons for their best DPS, in terms of like the recharge rate, but yeah, I think it's something around there. So anyway, also you will immediately note the engines are not incredibly efficient. These are exhaustless injector engines, because I really love these things, and the laser craft has considerably less of them, so that is a bit of artificial cost inflation. Simply because I'm not good enough with steam engines in order to make decent ones, and also I didn't really leave much room for them. So again, another thing that makes this not entirely, I guess, accurate by the standards of someone who really is good with particle cannons and or lasers. So, because the trick with energy weapons is actually just building good engines. You kind of need to do that if you want to get best bang for your buck out of either lasers or particle cannons. Anyway, the waves are pushing these guys around annoyingly, so let us hop into... Actually, let's get a screenshot there, because that's nice. Let's hop into the custom battle simulator. I will set things up the way I like them, and I will see you in a hot minute. Alrighty then. So now we have spawned in our canoes. The PAC canoes, actually, as it turns out, because my math is terrible, they have a very slight material advantage, about 30,000 materials, which isn't that much because there's still roughly 600,000 materials worth of stuff on each side. And so we've got 3 laser canoes over here, and we've got 2 particle cannon canoes over there, just so things are roughly material equivalent. And I have set them in to spawn at a 45-degree angle, and that is mostly just so they don't collide with each other and throw off our test results, because I do not want AI stupidity to mess with with what little science is going on here. So, let us begin. None of these craft have repair bots, by the way, so if they take damage, they're just gonna have to live with it. And I do believe, I forget whether the laser canoes actually have EMP protection apart from around the AI. We'll have to see. And also the PAC canoe does not have smoke defense because, you know, I want to see what happens when they don't have that. Here we go. I am anticipating. So immediately... also, I forgot to mention the armor of these things. The armor is quite thick. It is a lot of stacked alloy and metal. In fact, it's a little checkerboard pattern like that. Because wood is way too flimsy for this kind of thing, and just spamming armor stacking does not work with lasers and particle cannons because they ignore it. But first blood is definitely to the PAC canoes, and immediately you can see the lasers are kind of slipping through water a bit, which is a bit of a problem. It's going to really cut down on their damage. And if they're aiming for a stupid part of the PAC canoe, that's also not going to help them that much. Although right there, that is potentially a problem if they take out a lens. Because that's the advantage of these little canoes, is that they can just focus fire. And somehow, I don't think the lasers are going to win this one. Look at that. There's multiple chunks happening there. Having redundant blocks actually works well. Wow, that turret stood up to, like, pack shots to the face a little bit better than I thought it would. Interesting. It all depends on who manages to lose a craft first. Ooh, boy. Because the lasers are being cute and they're focusing down one of the PAC canoes. Oh, this is one of the problems with having expensive stuff. It means less craft in play. Also, the fact that they are not aiming below the surface is definitely helping. Also, you driving away like a stupid person is certainly not helping you at all. Is your steering messed up? It's kind of even at the moment. It's very even. Even Stevens. Oh no, you are gonna collide, aren't you? You are gonna collide, you silly, silly, silly person. You're gonna mess with each other's stees, and that's no good. This does look kind of cool. There's lots of lasers. Oh, you've gotten in each other's way, you fool. You fool! Oh no, you've all gotten in each other's way. Wow. Also, you gotta love the rainbows. Let's see here. You have no excuse to be singing. Let's see, what's happening here? Oh boy. If that EMP jolt gets in the AI, it's like AI dead immediately. Oh boy, you lot are definitely gonna collide with each other at some point. At some point, you're gonna do it. Let's see here. The PAC canoes so far are actually losing, which I wasn't really expecting. Guess those packs aren't as strong as I thought they'd be. Did they actually lose? Yeah, I think remembering to put surge protectors on these laser fellas is definitely a good idea. You have collided, haven't you? No, you didn't. You missed by inches. See, I knew the AI stupidity would screw with something here. I think that might have... That didn't pop a turret. But it could have. Interesting, interesting. This is a very even fight so far. Which makes sense. It just shows that, I guess these weapon systems are kind of balanced, and material-wise, they are dishing out similar levels of dukkha. But the PACs are spreading out their shots between all three of these vessels, so... Yeah, I think maybe we should do a one-on-one. Or not. What did that do? I think, yeah, very thick armor was a good idea. It was a very good idea for this. Actually, how thick is that? I think it's something like 7 meters thick. So it's no joke. That's probably most of the... Oh, now the laser guys are spreading out their damage a bit. Also, I think having just distraction blocks, that long bow, I love that. I love this particular design of craft. I think it works really well. Largely because it's like, odds are good that shots will get wasted. Oh, now they're chasing you. Oh, no. Uh-oh. That didn't look good. Wait a minute, are you... Yep, you're still moving. Oh, but there's a turret disabled. Oh, maneuvering like that was not a good idea. It's not a good idea for you. Oh, thank goodness for surge protectors. Now they're maneuvering around again. There's sweet maneuvers happening. This is interesting. Oh, the Team Laser is now copping it. Also, these two are about to hug. This is exactly what I didn't want to happen. Okay, no, they're smart. They're managing to not do that. Good, good. Ooh, that made me feel bad in my tummy. But we're good now. They are slow enough to not be stupid. I think this is the slightly less damaged side, which is convenient. Alright, so we've got... Currently, we've got... I think the particle cannon fellas are going to win this, actually. As of right now, I suspect that they are going to win. Because they're doing stuff like that. This fella over here, they've been mauled. Look at that. Somehow not lost any lenses yet, which is amazing. Like, the split second... If you really go meta with your particle cannon craft and stick smoke and shields and stuff like that, there's no way a laser craft is gonna, of an equivalent cost, is gonna have a chance, because particle cannons don't have any hard counters. There's not really anything you can do against them except block spam or just get out of their arc of fire. So, yeah, there's, Also, I really should have tested those particle cannons against something a little bit, you know, thicker than a Marauder. I didn't want to test too much. I didn't want to... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This fella's in trouble. Laser bits have been lost. Laser bits have been very much lost, and the PAC team is in the lead. And this guy has just decided to do a expert flanking maneuver. See what's here. Although if this guy zaps off the... Uh-oh, that's not good. Yep, we're down one lens. We are down one lens. Should not have just stuck a heavy armor block in between there. Uh-oh, yep, uh-oh, uh-oh. That flanking maneuver. The flanking maneuver, as it turned out, was a very good idea. And what else is happening here? This guy is just doing great. Maybe the laser team will win, although they're down like 1.5 turrets right there. Also, particle cannons are kind of inaccurate. Oh, we're down essentially two lasers over here. See, redundant lasers are actually a good idea. I love how well these turrets are actually kind of surviving. Sure, lost 1/2 of the turret, but you got the other half, which is very convenient. Also, the fact they haven't been AI deaded yet either means that the EMP particle cannons are kind of wussy, or it means that the heavy armor citadel in there, plus a rubber AI compartment, is actually doing quite well. Is that guy okay? I think he's just really far away. This is why you should armor the sides of your turrets better than what I've done here. Because if you don't do that, they get flanked. They get flanked, I tell you. Oh, low slung, low slung, low slung. This is very evenly matched. These are basically the identical craft, except they've got lasers and packs and different stuff. Oh boy. Yeah, PAC Canoes still leading. Still very much leading. This fella right here with 2 intact turrets, for the most part. No way. Nope, not AI dead. Not AI dead. Whoops. That guy flanking though, he's doing magnificently. And this guy's decided to turn around and shine a laser straight through waves like an idiot. Oh, this is dramatic. This is dramatic. Also, quite a long fight. This video is long, and I would apologize, but it's disco. How often do you see pure disco on this channel? Hardly ever, so we should all enjoy it while we can. It's disco versus dubstep. Do people call particle cannons dubstep in the FTD community? I do not know. It's not something I've checked. Oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie, dearie me. Those particle cannons are, they're dubstepping hard. Uh-oh, we're getting a flank on that turret again. Never mind. Which one are you? You are 90% health, and you are 76% health. I think it's going to be a long fight, but I think the PAC team's going to win. Because they're just kind of doing better. Those are scatter lenses, by the way, in case people were wondering. Damn it, I really didn't do a good job showing off. Although, if Team Particle Cannon runs out of materials first, that's a win by default for Team Laser. Using less energy, using less power. And this, by the way, is why superstructures can actually be kind of handy, because this thing, it's not even a particularly big, impressive superstructure, but it's just kind of, it's shielding the back of this turret from those laser canoes which are way over there in the back. This guy is not long for this world. It's just a few lucky shots away from being gutted. I love the redundancy of these hulls, though, because it's got propulsion on both ends, and, like, so long as it has propulsion, it has steering, thanks to the azipods. It'll just keep going. Yep. How are you doing over here? Uh-oh. 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 Somebody is losing lenses. Oh, it could swing both ways. It could swing either way. This is why you gotta put, my projector shields on your turrets are actually kind of a good idea. It's so that lasers don't make a huge problem for you. Oh no, the particle cannon canoes are gonna run out of materials. They're gonna run out of materials really quickly. They're gonna run out of delicious juice and be done. Uh-oh. Oh wow. Okay, so I think that's my bad. I think it's because the engine design is not very efficient. But the same engines are being used on the lasers. It's just they use considerably less power. So yeah, I think it is kind of a legit win for Team Laser, because it's, hell, they're at a material disadvantage, and yep, that's it. Like these guys are out of stuff. We are gonna wait for them to you know, fire their last shots and run out of juice. Yeah, that's basically it. Oh dear. Team Laser has just outlasted them. That goes to show you. I love doing these videos because, like, I do learn things just from doing them, and I hope other people learn from watching them as well. Particle cannons are really hungry. They're really energy hungry, man. Like, it takes a lot of juice. It takes a lot of material to, like, keep them running and keep them going. Meanwhile, lasers, while they are kind of crap against anything that has proper laser defense and is under the water, that they, in comparison, they burn a lot less juice. The same volume of laser requires just less overall. Yeah, man. Yep, that's it. That is it. The PAC team has lost. Round 1 goes to Team Laser. So, let us set that up again, and let us start that again, because that was so fun. Let us arrange this how it should be arranged, like so. We need to control the camera properly. Okay, so we've got lasers on the left, PACs on the right. Go for it, lads and lasses and miscellaneous. Once again, first blood, and uh-oh. Let's see where the lasers are aiming. Well, hang on, let's see here. We got, let's see, you have been, who's at 90 something something? You have been, you got slapped in the side a little bit. It's all just a flesh wound. Haven't been gotten in the turrets, so you're fine. Yeah, let's see, where are you at? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Lasers decided, yeah, that turret, I don't like your existence. That's not good. That is, in fact, burning through that... dear. Uh-oh, there goes one lens. There goes one lens. Uh-oh. Not looking good for Team PAC. Wow, that's block confetti. That is block confetti. Oof. Let's see over here, what's happening? And again! I think, yeah, just if you get your lasers to aim at the correct place, it's just a very good move. Wow, they're all going for this guy, and this guy's having a really bad time. Damn. Yep, that's... wow, yeah, that's not looking good for Team PAC. Let's see what's happening over here. What blocks are falling off? Turrets look fine. It's mostly just... once again, mostly just flesh wounds. Thick armor is making a big difference right here. Advantage Team Laser. Team Disco is doing quite well. Also, the inter-vehicle transmitters does really help in a team fight, because it means that if one craft loses its detection settings, it doesn't matter. There you go, there you go. Avoid each other, please. Avoid, avoid, avoid. Yeah, health-wise, oh yeah, the lasers are just taking no prisoners now, just shutting down one of the turrets immediately. Although now, some sweet maneuvers happened. And Team Laser is currently uh-oh, that's not good. Looks like, yep, this turret got disabled. Its local weapon controller, I think, got EMP'd. And so long as this guy stays closest to Team PAC, it's blocking this fella from firing, so that's not good. This is why combat testing is so useful. You get to see what messy, stupid, unpredictable things tend to happen in a real fight. And these guys are doing very well at avoiding each other, actually. I hope I didn't jinx myself by saying that. Well, the... uh-oh. Team Particle Cannon, do not hug. Do not kiss. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100. Uh-oh. Ooh, dear. Yeah, once again, one of the particle cannon canoes is being focused down. And the other one is not being incredibly helpful. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, Team Laser. This is unexpected. I kind of thought, and this might be personal experience bias, I always, whenever I run into particle cannons, they tend to slap huge chunks off my ship, so I just always assume that they're bad news. But, like, it's true what people have told me. Like, they are very effective, but efficient, they ain't. Like, I'm guessing for anything more specialized, just every other weapon type is more material efficient. Because, yeah, in this particular instance, the lasers are doing better. They are, pound for pound, doing much better. That being said, like I said before, if like actual shields and smoke and repair bots and stuff like that were all thrown into the mix as well, I think the particle cannons would do a lot better, because the split second you have smoke on a craft, the lasers are way less effective. But yeah, fascinating, fascinating. If I had a mustache, I'd be stroking it. As of now, I'm just stroking my slightly stubbly upper lip, and it's just not the same. I gotta make more laser canoes, man. Like, I found the kind of laser I like to build, which is not a sensible laser at all. Like, please do not copy me if you if you want to be good at lasers. For these lasers, at least. Do these particle cannons feel slightly underpowered? I need to step up my particle cannon game. I guess you could say that they're not that big, because they're not. I don't know, like, I'm not sure, like, do particle cannons make better secondary or primary weapons? Like, because I'm honestly not sure. You can do both, but, yeah, like the Megalodon has secondary particle cannons, and that works an absolute treat for Meg from accounting. But yeah, I'm tempted to say they make better secondary weapons than main weapons, simply because, well, zap. Simply because, like, they're just all-round very versatile. Like, there's nothing they can't potentially hit and or damage. So also put them on a 2-axis turret, which generally means small, which generally means secondary. Like, yeah, I would say that. But if there are any PAC enthusiasts in the comments, do share your thoughts. I would be very interested to hear them or see them, or both. Yell at me, lean out the window and yell at me, and maybe down here in New Zealand I will be able to hear you. I'm sure your neighbors will not give you funny looks. Yeah, Team Laser is still in the lead. Like, there's a few turrets knocked out, but apart from that, they're still doing great. They're still doing fan-dabby-dozy. Fascinating. I'm fascinated. Also, because, like, you know, I'm biased towards gunpowder, like, mostly cram and APS, I don't often observe energy weapon crafters doing their thing, and it's a different feeling. Like, because they don't really miss the same way that projectile weapons do, I guess it's less fraught, it's less, like, subject to the AI being stupid and aiming for blocks it can't actually hit, which means it's kind of it's a hit point race. It's who does more damage more quickly. Yeah, like, ooh, this turret is getting fried. I've probably been stupid with these turret designs. There's a way to shield your lenses better, which I tried doing, but then the damn thing wouldn't fire, so, or it would shoot itself, and that's no good. Maybe I shouldn't have party mixed the PAC so much. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Incidentally, if people want me to chuck these things up on the workshop so you can tell me exactly what I did wrong with them, I would be down for that. I freely admit I am not an expert with lasers or particle cannons. I probably need to think better with them. But like I said before, it's also because I'm not an engine genius either. These injector engines are just because both of these craft need a lot of power, and it needs to be compact, and that's basically it. Also, I just really love using exhaustless injector engines. They're just so convenient. You guys are not allowed to tickle each other. Also, these guys are not particularly fast. They're less than 30 meters per second. I like having surface displacement craft, which are like 40 meters per second or more. Like 30, yeah, 20 at minimum. So these are not especially fast craft. Mostly they're just focused on, you know, being floaty, being tanky, and, you know, having the energy weapon arm. This guy's just completely disabled. Those lasers aren't doing anything. Let's have a look, actually. Let's see. What's happened to you, mate? Let's check your guts. What's happened to your gut? Oh, dear. Yeah, your guts are, what happened here? It must have been EMP'd. Must have been EMP'd. Maybe I should think about putting, like, a rubber... For these specific laser turrets, I should be thinking of, like, putting a layer of rubber, like, inside the turret cap. And I think that would be just a better idea overall. That might be a good idea. Yes. Yes, this video has given me things to think about, he said in his terrible German scientist accent. That would be good. Also, I am very tempted to do this again, but like with rapid fire particle cannons and just them set to piercing. Just to see if it would be different, because you fire one shot every 20 seconds, you've got the cram problem. Like, if that shot misses, that immediately cuts your DPS down by a really significant percentage. Whereas if you, I don't know, fire 40 shots per second as these lasers do, then it doesn't matter so much if you miss. Did you do a Yui? You totally did. You little genius. Careful, new. Oh, it is so nice when failsafes work properly. And I think this guy is now acting as bait. It is kind of cool sometimes when, because the From the Depths AI is kind of derpy. Well, there's one miss. Case in point. It is kind of cool to see them accidentally be smart, because goodness knows that doesn't happen very often. Maybe I should just set them to pure explosive. Yeah, I need to play with particle cannons a lot more. That's partially why this was made. I thought to myself, BorderWise, you need to play with energy weapons more. You need to understand them better. You need to, in order to counter the disco and the dubstep, you must understand the disco and dubstep. You must live it. You must breathe it. You must build it. You must play both at once in a horrible cacophony, a parody of good music, to see which one kind of drowns the other out. That was weirdly poetic. I'm not usually like that. Must be the caffeine I ate. Let's see here. Who is gonna run out of juice first? I'm not sure. Might be. Let's see here. Like, yeah, like, the DPS of the laser canoes has fallen off a little bit, because with this guy has, like, just completely lost his weaponry, and these guys, I think this fella is the only one who has fully intact laser systems. Should have named these guys. This guy is short one of them because it got vaporized. So yeah, but meanwhile, they're doing the flanking thing again, which means that if that turret wasn't doomed before, it sure as cookies is now. Yep, that turret's gone. And yeah, this guy only has one lens left, and this guy has 2 lenses left. I think the laser team's gonna take it again. It might take a hot second, but I think it'll happen. And since that's basically what's happening right now, let us zoom out a little bit. And we're gonna speed up time just a little bit. Let's keep an eye on the numbers, everyone, because we will see who has the better numbers. See you in a minute. Okay, it is 20 minutes later, and one of the laser canoes has run out of juice. Let's see which one it was. It is, unfortunately, the one with the highest health. So, it's this guy. Yeah, he's out of juice. He is completely out of juice, and those lasers are probably going to stop firing any second now. Or not. I guess they'll keep firing uselessly. So yeah, interesting. I am suspecting that whether these guys run out of materials depends on whether they get hit in the engines or not. Although this guy, it looks like he didn't get hit in the engines at all, which is fascinating. So his friend over here is also going to run out of materials pretty soon, like probably before I finish blathering on. Meanwhile, the PAC canoes are not running out of materials. They have plenty left, probably because most of their lenses got blown up. But it still counts. It'll be a win. Oh, and these guys are actually sharing materials between each other, so that's interesting once they get close. Sharing is caring. But unfortunately, both of them are gonna run out of materials right about now, and that's basically it. The particle cannon canoes have outlasted them because, unless I am completely mistaken, are they still doing damage though? No, they're doing basically nothing. This fella has one lens still functioning, and this guy over here has no lenses functioning. This got taken out. Or did it? Nope, that's two lenses functioning. So, for round 2, the particle cannons canoes win. On a technicality, because they still win. And that means we need to have a round 3, which means this video is damn long. So, time to set that up. I really should have made stronger lasers or PACs, or just, you know, made the armor slightly less strong. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie me. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Over here, and now we're over here, and now we're set up correctly. Totally not playing mobile games while the fast forwarding was happening, I promise. Alright, round 3, let's see how long this takes. Okay, looks like the particle cannons have divided their fire between all 3 of the laser canoes. That is not smart. Need to focus them down a bit. Let's see, let's look at the block confetti. And nothing important fell off. And looks like it's very even, with PAC canoes slightly more in the lead. Let's see, I think the piercing packs are really what's doing the damage here. Because just look how deep they're getting. Getting multiple meters deep. And shaving a lot off the underside of these guys. And let's see here. Who has the lowest health? Probably the guy I'm looking at right here. And once again, it looks like they're being very mean and focusing things down. Yeah, I think like the surge protector placement is actually quite good. It is like next to the AI compartment but touching metal, so any EMP pulse tries to take the long route and try and fry stuff. It's not going to work very well. Let's see what's happening over here. This actually is reminding me a lot of what happens if you try and put, like, APS against Cram. The PAC being the Cram, by the way. The more rapid-fire a weapon has a greater chance of taking out the weapon systems of its opponent. Meanwhile, the slower-firing weapon, simply because, well, it fires more slowly, is less likely to get lucky with a shot like that. I'm also suspecting that when it comes to raw damage, like, both lasers and PACs are, weirdly enough, kind of less volume efficient than both APS and Crams, because if these were Cramcraft or APS craft, the fights would not be taking this long, I feel. Particularly if you've got something that's actually good at dealing with thick armor, like, you know, pen depth or heat or something like that. Yeah, these are interesting. There is a price for hit scan capability, as it turns out. Who would have thought? Hey, maybe this game is actually somewhat balanced after all. Wouldn't that be a shock? And that's not gonna be very good for you. That lens is going to die. Any second now, it's going to get disco danced into oblivion. Or not. I was also kind of wondering if, because the lasers are aiming above the waterline, if it strips the deck away, whether these guys would sink. And they do sit very low in the water. I'm not sure why. Maybe, I don't know, I think maybe it's the heavy... Actually, no, I know what it is. It's the friggin' heavy armor citadel in the middle. Which is... I felt you kind of need that, because when you're dealing with lasers and particle cannons, they ignore armor stacking, so... Yeah, you kind of need a bit extra. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't necessary. But look at that. Look at those lasers chewing through there. Although, when they aim underwater, they do considerably less well. Fascinating. I'm stroking my lip stubble again, in case anyone's wondering. And looks like... Yep, now they're focusing on someone they shouldn't be. And the PAC Canoes have, I think... Yep, they have all their lenses. Okay, they've lost one. Out of 8 lenses total, they have lost one. And they are sitting pretty at 7. Yeah, I know how to math. Let's see here. What did that do? That did not a hell of a lot. I think using H... Uh-oh. That did, though. That was an EMP shot that landed right on this little turret, and it's taken out delicious laser pumps. Delicious laser pumps. Delicious... Oh, wow, actually, it took out a surge protector. Fascinating. What happened over here to you? Uh-oh, yeah, that... Uh-oh. Hello. Hello. Are the particle cannons gonna take it back? Are they gonna do a win? Well, certainly not if you aim there. This is actually a good move, is just to have redundant blocks at the extreme ends of your craft. Because anything that aims over here, firstly, it's highly likely to miss. And secondly, if it blows a whole bunch of blocks off, doesn't matter, you got blocks to spare. I love this canoe design. Like, if it wasn't obvious, I love it. I think it works really well. If you have not watched my mock canoe tournament, you should absolutely do that, because it is fascinating. It is all the canoes you can think of, possibly plus 1 or 2 that you couldn't think of. Uh-oh, that's not good. That turret is now big and expensive and a complete waste of time, because it's lost its lenses. But anyway, the Cram Canoe Tournament thingy, back when I was embracing both of my addictions. Very interesting. I should go back and watch that, actually. If nothing else, just to cringe at my past commentary. Because that's what happens when you do stuff. You look back on your older work and you think, what was I thinking? I'm gonna do that after I finish this recording. My head hurts. It's all the disco and dubstep. Hurts the brain. Looks like, wow, Team PAC's in the lead. Barely. These guys are super evenly matched. Like, it's impressive. It's 3-on-1. And the PAC Canoes are just like, yeah. If you're considering block count, actually, you know how particle cannons are effective. I think block count-wise, they're great. Because it means you don't need a bunch of different weapon systems. You just have one, and it can kind of handle everything. Also, in case anyone's wondering and wants to really get good with PACs, and this is me saying this after I've admitted I'm not super great with them, there are things you can do with ACBs, or breadboard, if you know how to breadboard, that sets the firing rate of your particle cannon. So, if they're aiming at something small and annoying, like a little jet plane or something like that, you can have them fire faster, and if they're firing at something big, you can have them charge up and do a big slap, so to speak. And it's very convenient. I've done that before, it's great. I have used particle cannon craft before, in the campaign. It can work quite well, actually. I need to do that more often. I need to make a flying canoe that has particle cannons on either side. Because that's smart. Oh, that's not looking good for Team PAC. You are, yep, once again. That's looking bad for you. Yes, the flanking, it's happening. The flanking. And I guess that's one way to counter particle cannons, is just have multiple craft, have have a fat thing with a lot of HP act as distraction, then have other things just scoot behind and like shoot it in the butt. Strategy. Tactics. Stractics. Strategy. I don't know what I'm saying. This is actually looking to be going the same way as last time, actually. So we got two guys off in the distance, although they are separating a little bit, flanking one of the particle cannons and just slowly melting its butt from behind. And a guy over here dealing with this fella. So overall, who's in the lead health-wise? Wow, they're even health-wise. Once again, the one who's being focused down is having a bad time. Super bad time. Kablooey. Let's see here. You are dead. Whoop, that wrong button. Wrong button. What the hell, man? There we go. What button even was that? Let's see here. Oh, it's Shift E. Oh, I just learned something. Hey, there's a shortcut there. Build mode tools. Oh boy. Anyway, wait a minute. Oh, cool. That's fascinating. Like, it's weird. See, we're learning stuff through this video. I'm not even trying to learn stuff, and I'm learning stuff. Alright, let's see. This is gonna... looks like it's settling in again. The laser's actually a little bit too far away to do significant damage. Let's count the block confetti. They're really not doing that much. So this one over here is kind of doing stuff, though it's aiming for somewhere stupid. I've forgotten what the lasers in the front do. Color coding? Can you help me out? I think that's EMP and piercing, which is probably the important one. Yes. You know what I should have done? I should have gotten both of these guys to... both of these different ships, actually, to aim for hot blocks. Because then they'll go for each other's engines, which means immediate game over if the engines are destroyed. It also means that the lasers will be aiming underwater, so maybe not, never mind, forget I said anything. Oh boy, it looks like the particle cannon canoes are not far away. You know what would be really useful? To have a little debug tool that's just, you know, that's just a rangefinder or something. So you can look at a thing at a distance and you can immediately tell how far away it is, because that guy over there, he's a long way away. Or she's a long way away. Ships don't have sex or gender, what am I saying? But they're never it. They always have enough personality to never be it. Them's the rules that I just made up, and if you don't like it, well, I respect your opinion, but shut up. Anyway, it looks like... yeah, alright, so let's see. 90%, 93%, looks like they're taking turns getting monster mashed by Disco. Did I just really make a reference to Monster Mash and Disco in the same sentence? I think I did. I think that was silly of me. Thick armor. See, I don't want to fast forward at this point because everybody's still firing. Everybody is still kung fu fighting. And we're only about 10 minutes into this round. Deacon's Christmas. I'm gonna have to do a big fast forward in the middle of this. Only got one laser left. Only got one laser left. Looks like... yeah, that's a fair chunk of stuff. Fair chunk of stuff. That right there is a piercing pack that is very close to making magic happen. And by magic, I mean making this guy less alive. And also, it looks as if that once again, losing a few lenses means that the PAC canoes are using less materials, which means they might win on a technicality again. Like a technicality that I think nobody wants to happen, but it's gonna be a win, because by the looks of it, the lasers are burning through materials quickly. Now, doesn't that make me look silly, me saying that particle cannons are less material efficient? Well, I mean, they are. We saw in round 1, they are less efficient. But, yeah. Because they're only being efficient because they're not firing as much. And they're just the sheer block spam and the distance is actually making a big difference. Getting the lasers to waste their power. And shooting through water a lot. Gotta hate how lasers do that. This guy cannot belong to this world. He, she, they has been Swiss cheesed. Can you imagine? This is actually a point in favor, by the way, for the checkerboard armor pattern, because if this was solid metal, firstly, these guys wouldn't be able to float at all, but also, because it is a mixture of alloy and metal, it means that, and because the exterior skin is metal, as it loses blocks, it doesn't lose buoyancy, because for every heavy block it loses, well, for every buoyant block it also loses a heavy block. And this guy has basically got no firepower left. Oh dear. Something important got zapped. Let's see. Where'd you get zapped? Show me on the doll where you got zapped. Yep, that was EMP. Oh, the EMP is making a huge difference, actually, in this fight, because it's just, if it hits the right spot, it just destroys those lasers, no worries. Meanwhile, the superior numbers of the laser canoes is making a difference over here, because this guy is lost most of their superstructure, and they're quite close to, well, getting that. Yep, there, the shot's landing on that turret. It's gonna get gutted from the side. Shield your turrets, people. Shield your turrets. It's a good move. Oh, wow. It's actually really, really close to losing that. Oh, look at that. It's poking out. It's poking out. That's obscene, actually. What does that remind me of? I don't know. You need to put your shiny thing where it's safe. You can't have your big thing just out there where, you know, deadly light can shine on it. I meant the sun. But also lasers. Looks like... What are you doing? You are slower than your friend. I wonder why that is. Actually, no reason for you to be slower than your friend. And looks like, yeah, that turret, little bit by little bit, it's going to lose blocks. Bit by bit. Bit by bit. And this guy is going to be not tremendously helpful by shooting at that guy, who's basically just a decoy now, and occasionally firing off the occasional useless shot towards those guys way over there. So this is where the action has slowed down considerably, and so this is where we speed things up a little bit, because otherwise we're going to be here all year, all of 2023. Look at me dating the video like a silly person. So we're going to fast forward a little bit, and I will see you in about probably 5 minutes when somebody runs out of juice. Okay, never mind, it's not 5 minutes later. I've just noticed the PAC canoes are really burning through materials, and they are gonna run out right now, and that's it. It was best of 3 rather. Particle cannon canoes did quite well. It was very evenly matched, but ultimately, them hungry PACs have demonstrated that they just eat your whole budget. It was like, I forget how much resources they started with, but it was a lot, man. It was a hell of a lot. And so they've just run out. They have run out, and they can do no more. They are dead in the water. Although this guy, yeah, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna manage this. Oh boy. So let that be so. So in terms, like, pound for pound, lasers are more material efficient. We can definitely conclusively say that. Because the only reason that in round 2 the particle cannon canoes won is because they lost so many lenses that they weren't burning through their materials as fast as they could have been. This guy got mauled though. Look at that. It's a wonder he's still floating. He, she, I've got to be considered. She, alright? All ships are she. Her. She got schmullied. Something amazing. But the armor scheme held up. Damn, I'm going to use that more often. Anyway, that'll do for this totally scientific, honest video. And do let me know how I stuffed up these ships, because I do feel like I didn't do the absolute best possible with either the lasers or the particle cannons, but I wanted to keep things as even as possible, so same volume turrets and all that. In fact, even the lasers has slightly bigger volume because you can kind of do interesting stuff like down the center line of them. But anyway, that'll do for this. Lasers, pound for pound, more material efficient, but everyone bear in mind that the particle cannon canoes did not have laser defenses, and laser defenses are pretty straightforward to slap on your craft. It doesn't take that long, and it would have been a very different fight. Even if you just put shield projectors like on the turrets, the lasers would not have been able to disable them as easily. So, enough waffling. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. I certainly did. And if you neither enjoyed it or learned from it, well, begs the question why you clicked on it anyway, and have watched for the better part of an hour so far, and I hope you have a lovely day anyway. I hope you have a nice sandwich or something. So, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell.